Right, so hello and welcome back to the Bach and Arthur podcast. Given we hate things going unanswered, let's do some unanswerable questions, but solve them.
Yeah, all right, let's do this.
First up.
When dog food is new and improved tasting, who tests it? Well, dog food has to be fit for consumption for humans as well, doesn't it?
Does it?
Don't know, making stuff up.
Well, you've had a dog as an adult
I think
at home.
Yeah, because it has to be food. So humans can eat dog food, obviously.
Wow.
So
Do you ever see those TikToks from people in the fitness thing where it's like, when I give my dog his meal and it's like 100 grams, but 80 grams of protein, and he's like,
thinking about it. Have you ever tried a dog treat? Bland as
No.
anything.
There was a kid, did you have a kid at school that liked dog biscuits?
No.
They'd eat it for attention, but apparently it wasn't that bad.
Eat it for attention. That was like me, to be honest. There was a time where I would just eat kiwis with the skin on and be like, I fucking love it like that.
For the fibre.
For attention.
Oh.
Not for the fibre. But it's fine. It's like a grape skin, really.
I wonder if they just have to have tests. They set up a P, they get the P value.
pH value. pH.
Yeah.
What?
Just get a bunch of dogs and just be like, which one do you prefer, mate?
That's probably what they do.
And see which one the dog runs to and repeats.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they probably do. Well, you see that video on this morning where the dog owner was like, "Oh, my dog's vegan. Look, she'll pick the vegetables, not the meat. Straight to the meat."
It's straight to the meat. That's
Straight to
so
the meat,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit evil when like dog and cat owners just make their
Enforce a
pets
random diet on
vegan.
them. Yeah.
So they're not built for this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of my favorite ones ever, you know. If you enjoy wasting time, is it really time wasted? No.
No,
There's no such thing as wasted time that you enjoyed.
that's freaking true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the purpose of life? Wasting time.
Enjoying spending time.
Is wasting time.
Depends what you do. I mean, if you've got an exam tomorrow and you're like, I played GTA Casino today, they'd be like, come on.
There
you're
is
wasting
value
your
in
time.
that, mate. There is value in that.
There is, but you've got to weigh your options. Everything comes with an opportunity cost in life.
Yeah, I guess so. But even so,
But if you've got a free afternoon, there's nothing you should be doing, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to have a bit of bloody fun.
the bloody is watching this bloody podcast, mate. That's for
Yeah, watching
bloody
them
sure.
back.
Yeah, watching them back. Just watching them back. That's all it is. Just watching them back.
Do you ever choke your Smurf? It says, if you choke a Smurf, what colour would it turn?
I don't know. I don't think they're real. I don't know.
Really?
Red? I know you, but if you were to choke you right now, I don't think you would go blue. I think you would go, oh.
Oh no, let's try it. We're a scientific podcast. Let's do the experiment, bro.
Please.
Please.
I think slightly pink, rosy cheeked, and Papa Smurf would probably fucking like it, knowing him.
Oh, he's a dirty man, isn't he?
You know what he's like.
Have we done this before? I think you've said that sentence on the podcast before.
No, I don't think so, but I have mentioned Papa Smurf before.
I think you've mentioned Papa Smurf being a perv on the podcast.
Because he is. Let's face it.
Libel suit incoming.
Can he sue me for that?
He's not real.
Okay.
Or is he? If you are, choke yourself at home. Send us a photo, Papa
Choke
Smurf.
yourself at home. All right. What colour is a mirror? Oh, to put it into layman's terms, a silvery sheet of soda lime glass. This soda lime mixture is actually what gives it its true colour, which is actually a shade of green.
Yeah, you ever set two mirrors up against each other and it just gets slowly greener and greener?
So a mirror is green.
Kind of.
That's
I
really
wouldn't
cool.
say so.
I didn't know that. Soda lime.
Because what's the colour of something? Like if I say this sofa's blue, it's because it's absorbing all the other light and reflecting blue light, isn't it?
Yeah, just like another fun fact about colour. Blue eyes don't exist.
What?
That's
Huh?
just a lack of any pigment.
Really?
It's kind of like the sky is blue, but it's not coloured. Same thing's happening in blue. It was a mutation where someone was born without brown eyes, without having any pigment. So they appear to be blue, but really they don't have pigment. Their iris doesn't have any pigment.
What? There's not a blue pigment in blue eyes?
So they're not blue.
Because you know with the sky, like
Just lack of colour.
light scatters
Yeah, it's like that.
and then you get,
It's essentially that, but in
Wow.
eyes. Yeah, it was a mutation that happened.
Yeah, I do. Well, it was only like 20,000 years ago, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
the blue eye mutation happened.
Because they needed more light.
Mm.
And so it was like, it's actually quite favourable to have more light. So places like Scandinavia. I
Well, yeah,
suppose.
in places where it's darker.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Interesting.
It's quite interesting.
If I punch myself in the face and it hurts, does that mean I'm strong or weak?
I think strong. Because you can't train
Oh.
pain, can you? I think it just means you're
Oh,
strong.
yeah. Do you think, is pain
let's-
tolerance, you think right now?
try it.
Let's try it. This reminds me of something deeper.
Yeah?
God debate. Not to go too into it, but as a
fucker
tangent.
up there.
Have you ever heard this idea that can God? So you know, the general idea of God is the triomni God. So omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. So like omnipresent everywhere, omniscient, knows everything, omnipotent, all powerful.
Omnivore.
The omnivore, because he eats everything.
Yeah.
He can.
He can. So he bloody will.
There was this like struggle with the idea of omnipotence, that all powerful, because people would pose questions like, can God make a rock so heavy that he can't lift? If he can't make it, then he's not all powerful. If he can't lift it, he's not all powerful. And so for like hundreds of years, this was a really big debate. And then Thomas Aquinas came in, and in his, I think Alex mentioned this book, you know, he wrote the Summa Theologica.
Yeah, he did mention that, I think.
I think he did.
I remember.
Aquinas was essentially like redefining the boundaries of omnipotence.
Right.
And so now when you talk about an omnipotent God, philosophers tend to mean that it's a God that can do everything that's logically possible.
Right.
So I think Aquinas' one was, can God make a square circle? By definition, it's impossible. But he was like, you can be omnipotent without being, because like omnipotent means you can do all things.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as a square circle, so that it's not a thing for him to be unable to do, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. You've got to follow the laws of the universe, don't you?
Yeah. And it's now modernized. When people speak about it in modern debates, they say, can God make a burrito so spicy you can't eat it? Which is kind of weird, isn't it? Don't know why it changes. It's gone from a square circle to big rock to,
Really
to
interesting.
spicy burrito.
Speaking of spicy burrito, actually, you know the hot sauce that I did? Would it be in the last episode? It was. I might have seemed fine by the end of the episode, a bit like, I was messing. We were supposed to film this podcast after that.
Yeah.
It's now been a day or two. It's been 2 days,
Yeah,
has
it's been
it?
2 days.
Oh, God. That messed me up.
We were waiting because we were going to grab some lunch in between. And I was like, Bat, should we get some food? And I just heard him in the bathroom go, "Bleh," like gagging.
Yeah, I was trying to make myself throw up.
And he opens the door, forehead soaked in sweat, bead running down his thing. And he's like, I can't. Can you get me a milk? I had to go get me Yazoo from Tesco.
I was ruined.
It really messed you up.
It was awful.
I kind of felt more bad for Jabba because he felt so
I felt
guilty.
bad for Jabba as well because I was like, that is not his
Sorry for me,
fault.
can you do that, mate?
Yeah, I know. It's like, that is not his fault. That's like an unusual reaction. I don't know what happened because we were, maybe I was on a slightly empty stomach, but I did have crumpets for breakfast.
And we were saying it was a shame because the best payoff of eating spicy foods is the people want to see the funny reaction after. You did it, kind of went, oh, thought, end the episode. And we ended the episode.
Yeah. And then I
And
just
then
suffered
you
in
started
silence.
suffering.
So I thought I had to let you guys know, otherwise it was for nothing.
But we actually had George's podcast show that night. And
Yeah.
I was at home like, I don't know if he can make it.
Yeah, I pulled myself together in the end. It was because it just started, but like it was obviously hot up here, and we ended the episode. I could start to feel it coming down here. I was like, oh, that's starting to hurt. And then it was just like, my whole inside was on fire. I was like having the worst stomach pain, and yeah, it was awful. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still not forgiven Jabba. But
He's a weakling, by the way. It was just sriracha.
I don't actually. I
Okay.
never saw the bottle of what he gave me. To this day, I don't. I could have been uranium. Right, moving on.
Mako shark. Mako?
Mako, I bet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mako shark. Devoured by a bigger sea creature. So while fishing for small shark off the coast of New South Wales, Trapman Benagui, what a
That
name.
is sick.
What's your name,
Trapman?
Trapman?
Trapman, but
Yes, Trapman.
Bemagui.
Is it
Bermagui.
Benagui or Bernagui?
Or what about Bermagui?
Is that an R and an N or an M?
Yeah, I think it's Bermagui, you know.
The screen's very far away from me.
Trapman Bermagui.
Also known as Jason. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Wait, what?
Also known as Jason. Also a mouthful.
That's much better. Also, oh yeah, it is Bermagui.
Trapman Bermagui, also known as Jason.
Hooked a bronze whaler shark, which was probably eaten by a colossal mako. Before the huge shark could be hauled in, however, it fell prey to an even bigger creature, which devoured all but the mako shark's head.
Whoa.
We didn't see what ate the mako, Jason told CNN, estimating that the intact shark would have weighed at least 250 kilograms, which is a quarter of a ton, or 550 pounds for Americans and everyone else who's using the wrong system. The head alone weighed about 100 kilograms, 220 pounds, he said. Looking at the size of the shark and the bite taken out of it, it's tempting to speculate that the mighty mako fell victim to some gargantuan ocean predator one better suited to a Hollywood disaster movie.
How?
That is terrifying.
Oh, that's
Oh my
massive.
goodness.
I've never even heard a mako shark in my life, and now it turns out to be huge.
So by the way, audio listeners, we're looking at a photo of this shark that from the bottom of its torso to the top of its torso, not like lengthwise, like height-wise, is up to this dude's nipple.
Yeah, it's huge. This is a huge
That's
head.
a good 5.
The head's bigger than me.
5,
If I
yeah.
was to curl up in a ball. It's bigger than me, isn't it?
So something's mouth is about as big as that.
Yeah, and there's just a huge bite mark. It's just eating the whole body.
That's pretty terrifying.
That is terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. So Tyler Bowling, program manager at the Florida Program for Shark Research at the Florida Museum of Natural History, told CNN that the mako was probably attacked by a great white shark or similar.
It's a big great white, isn't it?
Orcas will also attack large sharks to eat their livers, but the bite mark looked like that of a shark, so it's probably a white shark. As alarming as the photo may look, there's no cause for panic, according to Bowling. This type of thing happens a couple of times a year. So this goes down to the mystery is what's down there.
Yeah,
Do you think there are unknown sea creatures
Yeah. I
bigger than
reckon.
we've ever seen?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if bigger than we've ever seen. But there's probably plenty of creatures we haven't seen yet.
There are people that think the Megalodon is still knocking around. Can we pull up a photo
Yeah, I
of
know.
Megalodon next to a human? Because that thing is, it just is giant.
Well, the Megalodon might not be real, but I know the Megalodon is real, mate. Alive and well.
Crikey, there's the size chart on the top left or
That's
middle
just
right.
huge.
So there
Whoa,
we go.
oh my God.
So the great white, by the way, next to it looks like a goldfish next to Batch. As in you're the Megalodon.
Yeah, true.
Just massive.
Yeah, that's a good size comparison.
What a demon.
That's just massive, but I just don't think the Megalodon is still knocking about because why?
Why would no one have ever seen one?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that big either, really.
It's pretty scary.
Great
though,
white's big enough.
The deep dark. Would you rather be lost out in space or lost
in the
deep
ocean.
under the ocean? Like in a
I'd
submarine
rather
or-
be lost in space.
Really?
Yeah, because nothing will eat me in space, but
That's what you think.
well, if you're out there, you probably eat me from the back. But
What the hell?
nothing.
Only 20% of the Earth's ocean has been explored, leaving 80% unmapped.
That's so. There's got to be creatures out there we haven't seen, but I just don't think anything big. I would have been the first person to see the colossal squid. Must have shat themselves. The idea of a squid being that big is
What,
just
100 foot?
stupid. Is that how big it is?
No, it's just got a lot of feet. No, I think
It's
that
just because
I'm sure there's been 100-footed giant squid.
that's one of those things though where it's like, why is there a big version of a squid?
Length, typically 7 to 14 meters,
Just huge.
23 to 46 feet.
Because you don't tend to get other creatures where there's like a small version and then just a colossal
giant
version.
one.
You don't really get that. There's usually in betweens if there's something massive. Like
Yeah,
the
but
giant
that is-
sloth doesn't exist anymore. You just got a sloth. Why is this
That's a shame, by
colossal
the way.
squid still about?
It's true.
It's massive.
Think about how much it must eat to maintain that body size as well.
Why are you big like that?
Why?
Why? I would terrify.
And I would terrify.
I would, simply. I really would. I'm going to look
Nice
up
scrolling.
videos of that when I get back,
Yeah.
to be honest.
No,
Even
that's-
actually, do you know what kept coming up on my FYP? That's slang for For You page, by the way. These, what are they called? The shrimp, the mantis shrimp that have
with the wicked
crazy
punch.
punch. Oh my God. Those things are terrifying
Yeah. So this is where we drop the fact that Batch is doing a boxing match
against.
underwater against
mantis
one of
shrimp.
those.
If it punched your eye, it would obliterate it. If it punched you in the head, it would punch a hole in it.
Damn.
That's a bloody threat, mate.
That would be cool. Maybe I need to upgrade my sea monkey tank.
It would destroy them.
Yeah. Maybe. But no, I also want to add one thing. So Batch, Liv and I went out for dinner the other day. It was actually with the Samsung team on the Samsung event, but we had blobfish. What?
Blobfish?
But blobfish get a really bad rep.
We did not have blobfish.
Didn't we?
No.
Oh, we had monkfish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is a pretty normal thing to eat. But I've not heard of anyone eating a blobfish. They think they're hideous.
So this is unfair. Can we pull
No,
up?
it's fair.
Can we Google blobfish? So blobfish
Blobfish.
have an unfair reputation
Is
for being really ugly.
Look at it.
Go on images.
Is it because that's what it looks like at sea level?
Yes. So they live deep underwater and they're still quite ugly, but they've got these faces that when they're brought up to the surface, obviously the pressure changes and they get super ugly and they look like that, like melting sad humans.
Yeah, to be fair, that makes more sense because I don't think that could swim.
God, it really is hideous, isn't it?
But all fish are like that. You see a fishing video of someone pulling up a fish from deep down and their eyes are like bulging
is that
out.
a photo? Can you click that one of it? Is that it? The one you were just hovering over? Fourth along, one down.
Long one down.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that's more like it.
So that's what it actually
It's still
looks
pretty
like.
grumpy and ugly looking, but
Yeah, not even close to how ugly
it's
it
nowhere
is.
near as ugly as you'd think.
It gains a nose when it comes up to our level.
It really does.
Maybe that's why we look like what we look like. If we lived underground, we wouldn't look
Yeah.
like this.
Well, I come out from the ocean floor and that's why my face is puffy in the morning. All those morning episodes. But
Wow,
damn, yeah,
that's
look,
so
middle
funny.
left there. Look at that.
I still wouldn't eat that.
As in like far left, middle row.
He's really gone.
One up. There we go.
That's a spiky fish. Though.
Yeah, that's the spiny one. There you go. Oh yeah, so we didn't eat one, so never mind. Tangent ruined, I guess.
No, it's still a cool fact that I didn't know that. All right, so
Did you like it, by the way?
what?
Monkfish.
Yeah, I've
was
had it
very
before.
rubbery.
It's quite
Oh.
like meat. It's like quite like chicken. People compare it to.
It is quite chickeny. It's like rubbery chicken. It's not very fishy.
Mm.
Did you have an oyster in the end?
Nah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd try one of them ever.
They're too weird. They just actually taste nowhere near as oystery as you'd think.
Really?
They don't taste of much.
See that. Then what's the point, in my opinion?
Great protein. Very high protein.
No one slamming oysters is doing it for protein, though.
Oh, fair.
Let's be honest.
And they're an aphrodisiac.
Yeah,
That was why I was like, come on, Batch, come on.
Have an oyster. Have an
Have
oyster.
an
come
oyster,
on,
have an
an
oyster.
oyster. I've had 12.
That was why you guys were like, come on, let's get up and go. And I was like, no, actually,
That corduroy
I'm
was
gonna-
unforgiving.
I'm
that
going to
night.
stick around for a little bit. Oh, dear.
Okay, I'm going to quickly move on before you keep talking about aphrodisiacs. And I'm moving on to the 1967. The 1967 Malmstrom Air Force Base UFO incident.
Ooh.
Thought you were going to say just an incident.
Aliens.
The night the missiles went silent. Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, March 1967. It's the middle of the Cold War, painting a picture. The US and the Soviet Union are locked in a standoff where a single mistake could end the world. Beneath the plains of Montana, spread out over thousands of square miles, sit Minuteman I nuclear missiles, each one capable of erasing a city. They're buried underground in a hardened silos, connected by miles of cable, monitored 24/7 by small two-man crews sealed inside concrete launch control capsules.
Okay.
On the night of March 16th, 1967, one of those crews is on duty. Captain Robert Salas is 60 feet underground, sitting at a console.
Oh, that's very close to diamonds.
Yeah, Y level 60.
That
Y
is
level
diamond,
60?
isn't it?
Yeah, that is. Okay, so he's sitting at diamond level at a console in the Oscar Flight Launch Control Center. The environment is sterile, quiet, procedural. Have I said that right or not?
Yeah.
Nothing ever happens down here. That's the bloody point.
And then he
Then
has...
No,
Boom.
better. The phone rings.
Oh.
It's a security guard topside, his voice tight, panicked in a way that doesn't belong in a nuclear facility. He tells Salas there's a strange object in the sky above one of the missile silos.
What?
Not an aircraft, not a helicopter, not anything on the radar schedule. He describes it as a glowing reddish-orange oval hovering silently over the launch facility. The guard says other airmen are outside staring at it. One of them is so shaken, he's reportedly on the ground vomiting.
Whoa.
Salas tells him to stay calm and follow procedure. Then almost immediately, alarms begin sounding inside the capsule. The missiles begin to fail.
What?
One by one, 10 nuclear missiles under Salas's control start dropping offline. In missile crew language, they go from strategic alert to no-go. This is not a drill. This is not a test. This is a catastrophic failure.
Oh my goodness.
These missiles are designed with redundancy stacked on redundancy. Independent power supplies, hardened communications, fail-safes meant to survive a nuclear war. And yet, in the span of seconds, every single missile in the flight is disabled. Salas and his commander frantically run through emergency checklists. Nothing works. The missiles are dead. Somewhere above them, according to security reports, the object is still hovering. Here's where the story gets darker and stranger.
What?
This wasn't a one-off. Over the course of several days, similar shutdowns occur in other missile flights at Malmstrom. In other cases, multiple flights are affected. Different crews, different launch control centers. Again and again, security teams report unidentified aerial objects near the silos. And again, missiles fail in ways engineers can't immediately explain. At one point, a senior officer allegedly tells missile crews something to the effect of, "You didn't see anything, you didn't hear anything, and you will not discuss this with anyone." Official reports are filed, but any mention of the UFOs is scrubbed.
What?
Teams are flown in from Boeing and the Air Force to figure out what happened. The conclusion eventually is blamed on a faulty component, an electrical issue involving the guidance system. But even some engineers privately admit the explanation doesn't sit right. Why did multiple missiles fail simultaneously? Why during active alert? Why during reported aerial intrusions? And why could the problem never be recreated in testing? Those questions linger.
Oh, I'm so close to singing it.
Decades later. For years, the incident stays buried, classified, compartmentalized, ignored. Then in the 1990s and 2000s, retired officers start talking. Robert Salas goes public. So do other missileers and security personnel. I did not know that
You're
was a
learning
word.
so many new words, and so am I.
They tell remarkably similar stories. Silent hovering objects, bright red or orange light, missile systems suddenly disabled, immediate secrecy afterwards. No one claims they knew what the objects were, only that something had interfered with America's nuclear weapons. If the stories are true, the implications are chilling. It means an unknown technology could neutralize nuclear weapons. It did so without violence, and it appeared to do it deliberately. Some interpret that as a warning, others see it as a coincidence wrapped in Cold War paranoia, but the core fact remains. In March of 1967, at one of the most secure nuclear bases on Earth, the missiles went silent and no one can explain fully why.
Wow, that's really weird. Just straight up disabled. And
Yeah.
Americans, they would have been at the forefront of technology. They wouldn't have been like, there's a much more powerful technological opponent that could be doing this to us.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if this kind of shit happened now, a lot of people would be like trying to just have technology that we just aren't aware of.
Or if it wasn't
that's
America,
so
you could say
advanced.
America have done it. Or
Exactly. But the fact that it was happening to America at that time,
yeah,
when America were
super
pretty
suspicious. I mean, the Soviet Union were very advanced as well.
Yeah.
But it does beg the question of aliens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Saying,
and back then, like, we probably would have figured out now what the technology was to do that.
Yeah. I'm surprised nothing else has been said about it.
I'm surprised I haven't heard that before. That sounds like
that
Cuban
rings a
Missile
bell.
Crisis tier of...
But a lot of the details, I feel like that. It's just complete and utter proof that aliens exist. Sorry, but
Really?
yeah, that's it.
Are you convinced?
No, because I don't know Salas yet by name. But
Yeah.
I'll have to meet up with him, have a pint, and talk about it.
Yeah, he could be a grifter. Could just be... chatting
True. The
shit.
thing is, you just can't trust anyone completely, which is a shame because that is such a cool story.
It's a great story.
Because the idea of aliens seeing us about to hit a nuclear thing and they're like, "Don't wipe yourselves out."
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do
That's
that.
exactly what I was thinking. They're just going like, don't.
Yeah,
You
don't
know,
bother.
when you get like someone like Peter Parker, and like someone's like about to fight him, and he's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
mate,
not
don't.
worth it, mate.
Yeah, it's not
Look.
worth it. And then they throw a punch, and he's like, oh, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I mean, this would be more compelling if there was like evidence from it happening in Russia as well. Like they reported the same thing.
Yeah,
but
worldwide.
because you only hear it from America, it's like,
Or hear it since.
yeah,
But it does make sense because I do think some humans would be like, oh, fuck, let's nuke them.
yeah. Unless it was like
They're right above them. They wouldn't have done that even then, would they?
true. Actually, you're right. Americans, yeah, they'd be like, take them down, take them the fuck down.
And I'm coming with you.
No, but yeah, usually, like you said in the beginning, usually I'm quick to be like, oh, that's probably some kind of government with technology that is under wraps, pulling some strings. But that's America themselves. They wouldn't like silence their own missiles, would they?
Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Or time traveler, perhaps the Cold War did end the world.
Oh my goodness.
Someone survived.
And was like, I need to go back. That these nuclear bombs were accidentally triggered, like Cuban Missile Crisis, but actually button pressed.
Yeah, so
There
they
was a
went
false
back.
flag that they were getting nuked. The Americans sent the nukes. Then the Russians sent them back.
And then boom, wipeout, except a civilization survived. They developed, created a time traveling chamber, went back in time, stopped the Cold War.
Yeah, because they were like, because everyone nuked everyone, some people survived. We've got radiation all over the planet. It's uninhabitable.
It's a mess, yeah.
Our civilization that went deep into the mountains underground.
Yeah, like Fallout.
Yeah, or like the Friends from
Maybe
Work
that's
video
what it
number
is,
2. That's
dude.
one of the best videos we have ever made.
Yeah, you're bloody right,
We went
mate.
inside a haunted abandoned nuclear bunker.
If you aren't aware, go and check it out. My God, you're bloody right. That's what it is.
Would they have just done that?
Maybe,
They're
well,
just-
yeah, because maybe that was actually the point that ended the world. So you would go back and just fix that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but then they'd eliminate themselves. Because future civilizations would be like, if we change that, our ancestors would never have gone down in the mountains.
True, but they would survive.
Unless it was
There
short
was one
term.
selfish guy who was like, I need to go back.
Unless time machine already exists, they went down into the mountain.
Yes.
and then went back.
Maybe that's what it was. Or, I one up you. Nah, forget it.
No, go on, say. I'm
Nah,
curious.
forget it. I was just going to say, they pressed the button. Russia moved at the speed of light, no, quicker than the speed of light, to go back in time before they pressed the button. And that's a real-time time machine happening, boom. Maybe it was the Soviet Union all along.
Yeah.
But then why would they... No, never mind. I'm just saying, if they had that technology, they probably would have been like, oh, this Cold War's stupid. I'm just going to wipe you out.
True. Yeah, because they could send them. Well, they wouldn't want to necessarily wipe them out with nukes. Maybe they would. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what they really wanted back then?
Yeah. True.
Damn.
Let us know what you guys think down in the blooming comments, because that's what the blooming comments are blooming for. Sorry for my French, but...
Next up, Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh,
So I did this.
you escaped from Alcatraz.
Yeah.
You...
Seriously.
I knew there was something wrong with you.
Back in 1962, when I was 35.
Yeah, in the 30s.
No, I actually did this case on Famous Mysteries.
Did you solve it?
No.
Ah.
But maybe we can
Walk me
today.
through it then.
Because we've got your brain now.
True, I'll probably figure it out.
So,
It was aliens.
Alcatraz Island, San Francisco Bay, June 1962. Alcatraz wasn't just a prison, it was a message. What fictional prison, let me ask you, is loosely based on it?
The one in Ratatouille.
Nope.
The one in Shawshank Redemption.
I did it. I did my time. 12 years of it in Azkaban.
Harry Potter.
Yup. Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban, prison. Definitely influenced by that. Anyway, so this prison surrounded by freezing water, violent currents, and sharks that lived mostly in the public imagination.
Oh, so they weren't actually really sharks.
Not really. But anyway.
But the violent
rock,
currents, just raisins, just fucking pitchforks.
But freezing cold, like you'd go in there and you'd drown and freeze to death. You wouldn't swim across the bay because in the middle of the bay is this rock. And that's where the US government sent inmates that it wanted to break. Men who caused trouble everywhere else. You didn't escape this island. At least that's what everyone believed. So Frank Morris, he was the ringleader, quiet, intelligent, IQ reportedly well above average. A man who studied problems the way other people studied faces. The Anglin brothers, John and Clarence, were different. Oh, his real name's Clarence.
And Clarence lived at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents have a real nice marriage.
Lifelong criminals, yes, but also strong swimmers who had grown up in Florida, playing in rough water from childhood. All three shared adjoining cells in B block, and all three noticed the same thing. Behind their sinks, the concrete walls were softening. Does this remind you of anything?
Yes, when you apply enough moisturizer, things soften.
Shawshank Redemption vibes? You feeling it?
I can't actually
Prison
remember.
Break? You feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Can't remember what.
Exactly what happened, how they actually got out in Shawshank Redemption. I just remember him out in the sewers
He like scoops it out behind the poster, doesn't
with
he?
a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough.
No, wait, with the little
He had something.
with the little pickaxe thing that he makes chess pieces and shit out of.
Ah,
Took him years. I would have done it in a night.
I've done it in a night and blew my cover straight away.
Oh, this is boring and tedious. I can't be asked. I haven't got the patience for this, but he did. And he did.
You'd have if you knew you were in prison for life, you would have patience though. You'd be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
all right,
true.
fine. If this takes me 5 years, still better.
True. Anyway, behind their sinks, the concrete walls were softening, as I already said. Decades of salty air had slowly eaten away at the structure. Maintenance was poor. No one expected prisoners to exploit erosion. Using nothing more than a spoon stolen from the mess hall, a makeshift drill built from a vacuum cleaner motor, and hours of patience masked by accordion music, the man began scraping at the wall.
If you rub something hard enough, it will disappear eventually.
Mine only grows.
Oh God! But if you kept rubbing, eventually that would disappear.
Anyway, every night whilst Morris played his accordion to cover the noise, they chipped away at the concrete, grain by grain, until the holes were just about large enough to squeeze through. Above their cells was an unused utility corridor. Once they reached it, the prison was already failing. Escaping the cell was only half the problem. Guards checked inmates hourly, so the men built dummy heads. They molded them from soap, toilet paper, and toothpaste, and then painted them with stolen art supplies. Real human hair came from the prison barbershop. By the way, can we pull up the photo of this? Because it's so cool. They actually, you can type in like Azkaban heads. Not Azkaban, Alcatraz heads. Is it
They are terrifying.
that might be it, yeah. Isn't that so strange?
That is
But you can imagine a guard
honestly
walking
terrifying.
past in the middle of the night, seeing
you
those
think
heads and
that's
being
real.
like, yeah, fair.
That is mental that they were skilled enough to create that out of soap and stuff.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Placed on their pillows beneath blankets, the heads looked convincing enough in the low light to pass a flashlight sweep. Night after night, the guards walked past. Everything seemed normal. The raft,
Oh,
the raft, because the water would be the final test. In the utility corridor, the men worked on their masterpiece.
So they could just work on it in there because it was completely unused, that corridor.
Yeah, in that corridor, yeah.
Imagine they decided to go through that corridor and just saw a raft, though. They would have been done.
You'd be so happy. Oh, you mean the guard?
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
meant imagine the prisoners walked in there and there was a raft already there.
No.
Just advance them by 50 days. Anyway, so in that corridor, they worked on it. A raft stitched together from more than 50 stolen raincoats.
Wow.
Heat sealed with steam pipes and glued with prison supplies. They even built a concertina-style life vest. This wasn't desperation. It was
these guys were
engineering.
geniuses.
They were. The guy with the high IQ, the main guy, the ringleader, smart fella.
That's insane.
He's the Michael from Prison Break. Have you seen Prison Break?
I haven't actually watched it. So it is based off people.
Well, no, Prison Break's like a modern version, but they escape, but it's because this guy's super clever.
Wow.
His brother's essentially like gone to prison for life.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to break you out. So gets into prison,
And then
but
breaks
like
him out.
has a plan to like break him out.
Wow.
Prison Break.
Prison Break. So they should have called it Break Prison, but still.
Break him free from prison to bring his
Yeah.
mate out, brother out.
Brother out. They should have called it that, but still.
Anyway, the night of the escape, June 11th, 1962, just before midnight, the plan went live.
Wow.
Morris climbed through his cell hole and the Anglin brothers followed. A fourth man, Alan West, couldn't make it. His hole wasn't big enough and he was left behind. The others climbed up a ventilation pipe, squeezed through a fan opening and emerged onto the prison roof. No alarms sounded, no guards noticed. They slid down a kitchen vent pipe, crossed the yard and disappeared over the northeastern edge of the island. At the shoreline, they inflated the raft and pushed off into the dark, dark waters of San Francisco Bay. And then they vanished. At 7 a.m. the morning after, guards came for the morning count. One of the men didn't move, and neither did the others. A guard reached out and touched a head. It rolled. Alcatraz went into lockdown. Search boats combed the bay. Helicopters circled overhead. Debris, bits of raincoat material, was eventually found. A paddle fragment turned up, and nothing else. No bodies were ever recovered. The official conclusion was blunt. The men drowned. The water was too cold. The currents too strong. But problems remained. Months later, the Anglin family received a Brazilian postcards allegedly signed by John, reports of the brothers seen in South America, and a family photo from Brazil showing two men who looked strikingly familiar. Frank Morris's mother received flowers anonymously every year until her death. And the sharks? Turns out the bay's sharks are mostly harmless bottom feeders.
Interesting.
The prison closes. Within a year of the escape, Alcatraz was shut down. The rock had lost its mystique. Because if 3 men with spoons, raincoats, and patience could walk out, Alcatraz was never escape-proof at all. So, did they drown in the dark, freezing water? Or did they pull off the most elegant prison escape in American history? One so clean the prison system couldn't admit it. More than 60 years later, the case is still officially open.
So they're still looking.
And somewhere, maybe, the men who broke Alcatraz lived out their lives in freedom. Boom.
Oh, God.
So you see the inspiration behind Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Because what's he, on a beach in Argentina?
I can't remember the ending.
Have you seen? Oh, he meets Red on the beach and he's like doing up an old boat.
I can't remember.
Another spoiler for you. If anyone's not
He gets
watched
out,
Shawshank
by the way.
Redemption.
No, I
I
can't
mean, it's a
remember
prison
that.
break movie. Of course he gets out.
Yeah, I watched that ages ago. I can't remember anything except from him coming out that pipe
Oh, yeah.
and then and going like that in the rain.
The man
Great
covered in
scene.
shit comes out clean as a whistle or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Epic.
Does he say that?
No, Red says that in the voiceover.
Oh.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, you're right.
Morgan Freeman, but pretty
Oh
crazy.
God! You know, I was gonna say when they found the scraps of raincoats and stuff, I was like, oh, they must have drowned, which is kind of a shame. You shouldn't be rooting for prisoners, but part of me is because they
Yeah,
did it with spoons.
It's a bit of an underdog, yeah.
Although I don't know what they went to prison for. Maybe it was bad,
Yeah, I can't remember.
but
You know what? I have an interesting question for you.
no, thank you.
What would the prison sentence have to be for you to be like, it's worth escaping and living my life in somewhere like South America without ever resuming my regular life?
20 years.
20?
Yeah.
So if you went to prison now for 20 years and they were like, you're in there till you're 45, would you be like, I'll leave my family behind, I probably won't see them again, never come back to England, can never post on social media again, I just need to start a completely new life?
Yeah.
Live
I would
behind.
probably find a way to see my family again, though. I think if I could figure out how to break out of a prison, I could probably figure that out as well.
Maybe.
But I don't think I'd be able to. I wouldn't be the sort of guy who'd break out of prison. I would just be there. Officer?
Yeah.
At your service. I
Just
will be
best
going to
mates
sleep.
to them. Guy down the corridor, by the way, smuggling in drugs.
Check on those fellas with spoons next door. They're doing something.
I got threatened in the shower today.
This place is awful.
No one bloody behaves. Instant grass. You know, it's like a really big thing in prison escapes. One of the first things the police do is go to the house of the prisoner, and some stupid percentage, like 90% of prisoners, the first thing they do is go home, and the police are always there waiting.
I bet it's just that part of them where they're like, oh, I just can't resist. Like, I need to go back.
I
And
don't even
say
think they
something.
think about it. I think a lot
Really?
of prison escapists tend to be quite dumb.
Then how
Because
do they get out?
there was that famous one, wasn't there, that everyone was talking about on TikTok, where like 10 blokes broke out of prison and they were just getting caught one by one, just in the same area. Just literally
hanging
like roughly
about.
where they were just in the same city. And you're like, if you're going to escape from prison,
Get gone.
get out of the country.
Yeah, I mean, you can't without a passport, though. Oh, well, they'll find a way.
Fashion a boat and just go. I mean, it's America.
Fashion a bloody boat, mate.
You just, you know,
True,
people
they could
break
just
into
walk.
America and break out of America. You can cross, you know, people do it.
There are ways.
There are ways.
There are. David Walliams swam across the channel. If he can do it, you could do it.
Yeah, hitch a ride on Williams.
Yeah, it's right on Williams. I feel like these guys got away based on the fact that their mum received flowers every year and
Yeah.
stuff like that. There was
The anonymous flowers.
that feels like enough to be like, oh yeah,
does,
they
doesn't it?
probably-
Oh, there are actually so many movies that I'm like, this has got to be inspiration. Have you seen
yeah.
Silence of the Lambs?
No,
Great one.
is that a prison break film?
That's probably another spoiler, but yeah.
Is it really? Well, it's been out long enough.
And
People
he's
should
on-
have watched
yeah,
it by now.
He's on the phone at the end and he's like, obviously, you know, he's a cannibal, right? Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, okay, so that's what that is.
He's
right.
on the phone at the end and he sees someone that he fucking hates. You'll find out why in the movie. And he says to Clarice, the lady, the detective,
Fleur East.
he goes, Clarice, he goes, I'll see you later. I'm having an old friend for lunch. Get it?
Because he's gonna eat him.
He's actually going to eat him.
Is that based on a real person?
Hannibal Lecter? Don't think so. I mean, there have been a lot of, maybe. Don't think so. Can we Google that? Is Silence of the Lambs based on a true story? Not that I'm aware of, but maybe.
Cannibalism is just so fucked up.
It's weird, isn't it? Nope, not based on a single true story.
Okay, good. All right, that's good then.
But a work of fiction by Thomas Harris. Oh, but the antagonist, Buffalo Bill, it puts on the lotion, as a composite character inspired by real-life serial killers, including
Gein.
Bundy, Gary Heidnick, and Ed Gein. Ooh, while Hannibal Lecter drew inspiration from murderer Albert Fish.
If you had an operation and you had to have part of your calf removed, and they had this perfect cube on a cocktail stick, and they said, we can cook this and you can try it if you want to.
Does nothing for me.
Would you
no
try it?
interest whatsoever.
You wouldn't try it?
Would you?
What if he went, you can try this if you want, I'll cook it perfectly. If you don't, I will.
Yeah.
But
the idea of another dude eating me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Would
weirder.
that upset you a little bit? Would you be like, well, I'd rather eat myself than you eat it?
Yeah, probably I'd rather eat it. Weird the idea of someone else eating my leg.
Yourself.
I'd feel violated. I'd feel quite violated someone else doing it.
Yeah, but you eat yourself.
Whereas you kind of eat yourself all the time, in a way. Because your stomach dissolves its own lining.
Yeah,
the cells in your mouth are always dying and you're swallowing them.
You bite your toenails.
Yeah.
True. Fact, by the way. Interesting. I don't really know why I asked that. I think it was the Hannibal Lecter thing. I'm just curious if you'd eat your own bloody leg.
You know what else this reminds me of? Have you seen on the prison? So the reason they realize in Shawshank Redemption that he's escaped, I think he picks up a rock. He goes like, "Where is he? Where can he have gone?" And they're looking around, and there's a poster covering the wall of like a sexy lady or something. And you can get them.
No, you can't.
You can.
Stupid.
What are they called? What's the mayor of a prison called again?
The mayor of prison.
Of a prison. The warden. The warden's fuming and he picks up a rock and just like throws it against the wall and it's like penetrates the poster and goes tick 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 tick. And he's like, what? And he sort of like rips open the poster and he's like, fuck. That's how they discover the hole.
Right.
In Family Guy, he's like looking at the poster and he sort of like throws a rock and he's like, oh, is there something behind it? And like does the thing where he like pokes the hole in the poster, but he's only just starting to dig. So he's like bent over and the guy like fingers his bum. The warden like pokes his finger in and it goes in like Peter Griffin.
Funny.
Peter Griffin's butthole. It's so stupid. I found it so funny at the time.
That's such good.
It's like just recreating the scene.
That's so good.
Oh dear.
That's brilliant. That's a great way to end.
And what's that? Oh. That's a great way to end.
Now
I was also about to do another anecdote. Just
right,
one more. I can't remember
anecdote.
what movie it's from, but they escape prison and they're like army crawling. They go, and the officer's boots are there, and they go like, the camera pans up, and there's no one wearing the boots. They're just a pair of boots. And like, oh, thank God. Now you can experience similar relief because I finally stopped yapping. I think that's 3 more unsolved mysteries. Let us know if
we solved them all.
Let us know if you know. By the way, there was one Unsolved Mysteries we did recently, and at the end of the Unsolved Mystery, we were like, there is a theory that this guy did it because there was some DNA evidence, but, some people think not because of this, so still unsolved. People were getting like halfway through that one and going like, they've already solved it, mate. It was this guy.
Right.
And then obviously at the end, we bring up the guy and the thing.
I see.
But this time, I don't think there's going to be any solutions. But maybe if you know some details and you've waited till the end, now you can drop them.
Yeah, go on. Let us know.
Let us know. Or if you want to solve it, let us know and we can take credit.
Yeah. Then cheers for that.
We'll give you a $5 and what else we'll give them?
I'm not giving a $5, mate. Come on.
You're real stingy.
Come on.
All right, what
stickers. We'll give them stickers.
What emoji should they drop?
Maybe a shark, because the shark's going to be in those
drop
guys.
a shark emoji.
That'd be cool. There was 2 mentions of sharks in this one, so
there you go.
they're having their moment. Yeah. Thanks,
Right.
guys. Yeah.
Well, go follow us on socials at Batch and Arthur. Follow our YouTube channels individually. Go follow Friends from Work. Subscribe to Friends from Work. Go check it out. There's a lot of unsolved mysteries in that secret haunted bunker video.
True.
That's for sure.
Go solve them.
Go solve them. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars. And if you haven't already, thanks for watching.
See you later.
Bye.